Hi, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about a topic that is very interesting to a lot of people: personal branding. So, I like to talk about all topics related to branding for companies, for startups, for established companies. But this topic of personal branding has been gaining traction in recent years tremendously. And so a question poses itself like, why? Why has it been gaining an importance? Is everybody interested in personal branding in recent years? I think it has a lot to do with us becoming an individualized society, meaning that there's a move from the collective to the individual in everything we do, and that has driven a lot of people to actually establish something on their own, whether it's parallel to their job, employment, career, or a business on their own. So whatever it is, this is a phenomenon that's happening, and it is actually fueled by the advancement of the internet technology and the commercialization of the internet, the commercial applications of the internet as well, because that commercialization has given birth to new forms of individual business endeavors, right? So they've been growing in numbers and impact over the years. So, such as solopreneurship, e-commerce, coaching, consulting, course creation, influencers, YouTube marketing, other types of businesses that enable individuals to bring value to society outside the confinement of large corporate structures. So that's all that is new, and in addition to the professions that traditionally they have been individual based, such as artists throughout history, their individual is their name, their brand name is their name, right? And they have to grow that name, they have to establish a reputation around that name. Other than artists, like financial advisors, musicians, authors, academics, lawyers, doctors, politicians, politicians. You've seen what's going on nowadays. So everybody has a personal brand that they need to manage. So all of these that I just mentioned right now, traditionally, they've been like, they have to grow their personal brand. But what came to society in recent years is a wave of solopreneurs, internet entrepreneurs, and consultants, coaches, course creators, and all that, right? Influencers. So there's an influx of new people that need personal branding that it wasn't there before. So this is what they call nowadays the growth of the Me Inc., the one person organization, right? So, with the growth of the Me Inc. comes the need for differentiation, because there's a lot of market players. Anybody can start a YouTube channel, anybody can, with a certain knowledge in a certain field, can start can create a course, can create an ebook, can create something that they can share with other people. So there is no barrier to entry, right? There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of market players. So what it means is that there is a need for differentiation. If there's a lot of players, you have to differentiate yourself. How can you differentiate yourself? You have to have something special. And this something special is related to is communicated through your personal brand. So that is why it has compelled a lot of individuals to seek differentiation, just like company brands. So that's why building a personal brand has become vital. It's not a luxury, it's vital for these individuals to gain and sustain business in the long run. And it's a great factor, affecting their success and scalability, right? So that is overall what I think is the reason why it has been gaining importance, and a lot of people are asking for it. So, another question that we should ask ourselves: who benefits greatly from personal branding? from building a personal brand? Who? Is it for everybody? Is it for special people? So just one thing to make clear is that everyone already has a personal brand. Whether they realize it or not, they have a personal brand. And the proof is that they have a public image. Like, just Google yourself and you'll find what is your public image. You will see things about yourself on Google that people, if they want to check you out, they can see. They can learn about you, your behavior on social media, if you have like a public profile, what you comment on, and all that, So it all contributes to your personal brand. So whether you think you have personal brand or you don't think, it doesn't matter. You have a personal brand already, whether you realize it or not. So the question is that the question is not who needs personal branding. It's about how do you go about it consciously? How do you actually build that brand, have control over it? Because if you're not having conscious control over it, you're at the mercy of anything that's happening, any comment, any kind of perception that whether it's right or wrong that you're building about yourself, from your interactions, from your posting, from your communication, from your achievements. Anything. If it's not a conscious strategic effort that you're doing to actually build that brand in a certain way, then you leave it at the mercy of, forces of communication in the market, right? It's not planned. So let's look at like what helps us realize this even more, that we already have a personal brand without even realizing it, is that let's look at the evolution of personal branding in a person's life. How does it evolve over time? So, okay, let's not talk about kids, because kids, they're kids and they haven't, developed yet. They don't have, defined personality or whatever. So let's start with the teenage years, right? So teenagers just about to step into another phase of their life, like adulthood, right? So at this critical stage, their initial personal brand starts to be defined, starting as a social brand, social image. A lot of people at this age are conscious of their social image that they relay to their environment, right? So what is their social image? What are they about? What are they interested in? What are they known for? What are their talents? What do people perceive them to be? Whether it's in their family circles, or family circles of friends, school, etc. Any kind of environment they are operating in would have an image about them. And a lot of teenagers going into adulthood are conscious of that image. So they have a personal brand. They have it, and a lot of people are conscious about it, right? But as a social brand image. Second, as they move into adulthood, their personal brand adds another dimension, right? So it's about like, okay, I'm an adult now, so where am I heading, right? What are their inclinations, their target, their aspirations, their dreams? How do they perceive their future to be? And that says a lot about them, right? So what are they, like for example, what are they studying at college, university, or getting trained for a certain craft or job, or so that says a lot about them. Like what are they interested in? Where are they heading? And then what careers are they aspiring to get into? That's another dimension. They add it to whatever they have built up in their teenage years, right? Third, as they enter adulthood and their brand takes on even a more professional dimension, as they are actually building their careers, right? And progressing on that front. So their career can be of any type. Now, anything is a career, right? It's not only in companies, right? So there's a corporate career in a company. There is independent professionals like doctors, lawyers, accountants, financial advisors, all that. There is entrepreneurs, business owners, people who decided to go on their own and build their businesses. There are artists, musicians, influencers, so on. And every single person I have just stated right now has a career to build, whether they're doing it in a company or they're doing it individually. So there is a need for these people, whatever the career type. There is a need for them. Each one of these individuals has to build a personal brand. It's because it's going to be their essential companion to, to build and assert their public image, their professional image and persona, to grow their career and business. So as we've seen, this evolution is like personal branding is present ever since we step into adulthood, and it's going to stay with us all our life. So that's how vital it is, and that's how important it is to actually consciously build it, right? So having said that, we looked at why it has been gaining traction. We looked at who benefits from it and how it has the evolution of it in the person's life. So another question we need to actually look at, which is there, like, what's the best way to build a personal brand? So there's a lot of people that have different ways to build a personal brand. Everybody says a different thing. Is there one way or best way to build a personal brand, or are there multiple ways? Okay, a valid question, but how could we approach this question? First of all, building a personal brand is a cumulative process. It's not a one-shot deal, right? So it's not a formula that you just apply and you get a result. You can't make it perfect from the beginning, from the start, as your image has to grow as you grow, and it has to be flexible enough for because it serves you, and you need flexibility. You might change course during your life, so your personal image has to actually serve you, has to be flexible enough to serve you. That's why you cannot set it from the beginning and set it and forget it, and that's it for life. You cannot do that, right? And then, so as your image develops, your skills develop, your mindset develops, your accomplishments are you accumulate more and more achievements, and your maturity changes over time. So does your personal brand. So it's a life thing, right? It grows over time. Your personal brand can also shift in different directions, as we mentioned. So the flexibility is very important, because the brand serves your career. It's not that your career serves your brand. Your brand is there to serve your career direction. So if you change career direction, your brand has to serve it. It's not the other way around. So in short, there is no one single way to build a personal brand, but there's a good way to start, right? To capture the main elements, right? Here's an overview. So I'm going to have another video about in detail about the framework of building a personal brand. It's going to be detailed with examples, stuff like that. But I just don't want to make this video right now too long. I just want to give you the overview. So when we decide to build a personal brand consciously, what are the main elements and steps that we should look at, right? First of all is defining your brand environment. What does it mean, brand environment? It means who are the people who are relevant to your brand, and who do you want to impress? Who do you want to affect with your brand, right? Whether it's your customers, your boss, your CEO, your business partners, your industry, whatever. That's your brand environment. You have to define it, because your brand is interacting with an environment. It's not in a vacuum. It's not something that you do by yourself and you just, marvel over it. It's not. You have to interact with an environment. That's what the brand is for, right? Step two, build your personal brand model. So the brand model is a specific exercise. I have another video that I've done about brand modeling in general, not specifically personal brand modeling, but it can serve for personal brand model. And it's a very detailed step-by-step exercise where you actually build a brand model for yourself. And what does it help you with, this exercise? This is not an exercise where you can take it and you can post it on your website or whatever. This is for you to get clarity on who you are in the market, about your image, the image that you want to portray. And the more clarity you establish through the brand modeling exercise, the more able you would be and more impactful you would be in communicating your brand in your environment, to your environment. So it's a very, very critical step, building your personal brand model. You can check out another, I'll put the link below in this video. If you want to check it out, you can actually go through it. Step 3, after you build a brand model, then you have to build your essential brand assets. People need to see you online, see where you are. If they want to check you, okay, they met you, or they want to know about you, where do they go? They go on social media. If you're on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever you are, they want to know more about you, right? So you have to establish those brand assets. If you have a personal website, even better, right? So you can have more control over how you relay your image. So these brand assets are important in order to paint the picture of your brand, right? Step 4 is to actually, once you have all these things, you can start engaging with your audience, right, in your brand environment. So you have several audiences in your brand environment. You have to engage with these audiences in a way that will be impactful. So basically, it's I don't want to dwell too much on this, but the main thing to keep in mind is that the purpose of engaging with an audience is to build a favorable image, right? Brand image of yourself, while creating a meaningful and authentic connection with each audience, right? So you want to create relevance, meaningful connection, mutually beneficial exchange, and at the same time, favorable personal image. That's the whole point of engagement, right? Last but not least is to leverage and scale your personal brand. So this is an advanced step that you can not do it initially. You do it after you gain traction, you build your brand, you establish awareness, you have some followership. And so how do you do that? Like, why would you leverage and scale your personal brand? Because okay, even if it's helping you currently in your business, there are other dimensions that you can leverage your brand to in related activities, for example, right? You have a certain career, you can have leverage your expertise to create a course or to do public speaking engagement. Some people, they have enough knowledge about a business to start another business, right? In their job to start another business. So you are you, and you have skill sets, and you have an image. This image, if it grows and becomes strong over time, and it means something to people in your environment, then you can actually take it and leverage it to build other things. That's what we mean by leveraging and scaling personal brand. And that's a very lucrative activity if you do it right, but you cannot do it prematurely at the beginning. You have to give it time. That's all there is, right? So I hope this has been a good overview of the personal branding importance and why it has been becoming more popular in recent years, and who is it for, and what's the best way to get started in doing that. So I don't want to dwell too much. I don't want to make this too long. If you want more information about the brand modeling exercise that I mentioned, you can actually check out the video I've done on the brand modeling exercise within the description below. Okay, have a great day, and hopefully I will do more videos around this topic, and specifically my next video, maybe it'll focus on the personal branding framework, right? How to build the personal branding framework. And that's what we're going to be tackling next in more detail. Okay, these 5 steps we talked about, we're going to talk about them more in detail. All right, have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.